At a height of 480 feet from the ground, inside this 4,500-year-old pyramid, there was something so mysterious that researchers had to send in a robotic camera just to see it. But at one point, the robotic camera stopped because right in front of it stood a stone slab. Behind this slab lay a secret that had been buried for 4,500 years. The researchers were determined to uncover it at any cost, so they attached a drill machine to the robot. The drill pierced a small hole through the stone slab. Then, through that tiny hole, a camera was sent inside. What it captured was a sight no human had seen for the past 4,500 years. In Egypt, a total of 138 pyramids still stand tall. For thousands of years, they have faced countless earthquakes and violent storms, yet not even a single one of them has moved an inch. Among these, the tallest and grandest pyramid is known as the Great Pyramid of Giza. The base of this pyramid covers an area of 13 acres, large enough to fit not one, but 9 football fields inside. According to estimates, nearly 2.3 million giant stone blocks were used to build this pyramid, with many weighing up to 50 tons each. The total weight of the pyramid is around 6 million tons, which equals the combined weight of 12 Burj Khalifas. But the real question is, why were these pyramids built in the first place? Thousands of years ago, when humans didn't even have proper tools, how did they manage to level the walls inch by inch? How were 50-ton stone blocks cut into perfect square shapes and lifted to a height of 480 feet without the use of cranes? And who were those engineers who not only built the pyramid with such precision, but also aligned all 4 of its sides exactly at a 51.5-degree angle, making them face north, south, east, and west with 0 error? You'll find out all of this in today's video. So let's begin. Challenge number 1. Perfect alignment. For centuries, research teams have been trying to figure out the construction techniques of the pyramid. How was every side aligned exactly with north, south, east, and west without a compass? If the stone aligned exactly in the middle, it meant the surface was perfectly level. Challenge number 3. Cutting the stones with the land prepared and directions marked, construction could begin. But how did they cut such massive 50-ton stones without grinders or modern cutting machines? Experts believe the Egyptians used chisels made of copper mixed with arsenic. Pure copper was too soft, but with arsenic added, the tools became hard enough to chip away at limestone. Workers hammered these chisels for hours, shaping massive blocks into squares and rectangles. Challenge number 4. Transporting the stones. The limestone used for construction was quarried in Tura, about 20 kilometers from Giza. Each stone weighed up to 50,000 kilograms, the weight of 3 passenger buses. And remember, 2.3 million stones were needed just for one pyramid. No animals, no trucks. How did they move them? Experts believe the workers used boats on the Nile River. Huge armies of laborers loaded the stones onto boats, ferried them to the pyramid site, and unloaded them. It likely took at least 5,000 workers at once just to manage loading and unloading. Challenge number 5. Lifting the stones. Now came the biggest question. How were these gigantic blocks raised hundreds of feet high? Some experts believe the workers built a straight ramp, while others think a zigzagging spiral ramp was constructed around the pyramid. Either way, there's no doubt, armies of workers pulled and dragged 50-ton blocks upward using sheer manpower. Challenge number 6. Inside the pyramid. The mystery doesn't end there. Inside the pyramid, passageways, chambers, and tunnels were also built. But while the outer structure used limestone, the inner chambers were made from granite, one of the hardest stones in the world, second only to diamond. Even today, cutting granite requires modern diamond-tipped saws. So how did the ancient Egyptians cut it so precisely 4,500 years ago? After years of research, experts finally solved the riddle. The Egyptians used a toothless saw blade. By applying heavy weights on either side and adding sand and gravel between the saw and the granite, they slowly cut through the stone. But the process was painfully slow. It could take up to 4 months just to cut a single massive block. The big question. So, what was the true purpose of these pyramids? How many workers were employed at once? And most importantly, what exactly did the robotic camera see after drilling through that stone slab? What was hidden there for the last 4,500 years, unseen by human eyes? All this and more, you will discover in the next part of this video. Thank you so much for your kind comments and likes. We'll see you again in the next exciting episode.